Good afternoon, Michelle, Angela, Nicola, the rest of the ICA class. We're here today to talk about Tattton Brewery. For the uninitiated, Tattton Brewery is a family-run brewery based in Knutsford, Cheshire, brewing both classic and contemporary real ales. With a range of beers available on draft in pubs, as well as to drink at home through a range of pins, mini pins and casks, Tattton Brewery produce high-end beers with a focus on excellence and traditional brewing techniques.
Okay, we've got loads of creative work to show you, but before we show you that, I've got to talk about the research that we did. We actually took part in a lot of primary and secondary research. So firstly, the primary research. Firstly, secondary research. We conducted detailed secondary research to grasp an understanding of the industry, the consumers, and the market that Tattton Brewery deal with. Amongst other reading, we looked at previous academic research, newspaper articles, and online surveys. The information we found had a bearing on our further research, and later on shaped the nature of our creative work, as we were able to engineer our campaign to suit specific age groups or personality traits, for example.
The renaissance the industry is experiencing is reflected in the number of breweries in the UK and the North West, indicative of the levels of industry competition Tattton Brewery face. 2011 saw 2.2 million barrels of real ale sold in the UK, which amounted to 633 million pints poured, which also amounted to a 1.6% rise year on year. Obviously, as indicated by the Canberra Chief Executive, this is great news, particularly as the real ale segment is performing well in what is a failing marketplace in beer in general. This growth is supported by changes in the real ale demographics, attracting a new younger audience supported by the Try Before You Buy campaign, as well as the role real ale has in supporting local pubs, being local people drinking a local brew in their pub. The real ale market is divided into a range of categories, from milds, bitters, olds and specialty ales and so forth, which is defined rather through the brewing process. Given Tattton Brewery's presence in multiple categories, the research gathered refers to the ale market in general. Given the region's strong historical industrial roots, the North West is a hotbed of brewing activity, ranging from emerging microbreweries, growing independent breweries, to the large brewing organisations. The major breweries who have an influence on the industry in terms of greater marketing spend and the ability to supply large retailers at cost or as loss leaders include the likes of Morehouse, Hydes, Thwaites and Moultons and Banks of the Midlands. However, given the size and business scope of Tattton Brewery, breweries a more true accurate reflection in terms of competition can be illustrated in reference to an emerging number of independent breweries in the Cheshire and North West area, with reference to Dunham Brewery in particular, which is located next door to Tattton Park, and is obviously a stone throw away from Tattton Brewery's own operations. Brewers compete through through price, supply, as well as the marketing of awards gained, including the Winter Beer and Ale Awards, as well as the Champion Beer of Britain Awards. Further competition can be viewed through routes to market, gaining places on supermarket shelves, places at pumps in pubs, as well as to opportunities at markets, as well as at numerous camera and real ale festivals. Given market sophistication, a growing industry competition, there are clear opportunities and advantages to be had in Tattton Brewery developing a clear marketing strategy.
Okay, so primary research. We took some questionnaires. We went to Knutsford Market and did a series of questionnaires. We established key questions and guided our primary research so that we could develop knowledge in these areas. We were particularly interested to know what social media ale drinkers use, where they buy their ale, and ultimately we wanted to understand how to reach out and advertise to this target market. These are things that we can't really look up in textbooks and had to go out and find for ourselves through primary research. So we went to Knutsford Market in early April and set about asking the people of Cheshire a variety of questions that we thought would expand our knowledge of the general consumer audience. Knutsford Market was a great choice for us to attend because it's within the sales area of Tattton Brewery and also gave us a cross-section of the Cheshire market. As you can see behind me, we actually questioned 102 people from a variety of age groups. We set about asking them 19 specifically chosen questions that we identified would help us most, and they were created with the aim of knowing where people hear about and where they buy their ale, so that we could produce advertising that was suited to where we can find our target customers. It became quickly apparent in the questionnaires that there are two main areas where ale drinkers can be targeted. Firstly, by social media, and secondly, in pubs. The bar graph on the screen illustrates how many people we questioned had social media. And although a lot of them don't, there was a large enough number of them, a large enough percentage of them, to justify us trying to communicate through this medium. It quickly became apparent that there are during the time that we conducted the questionnaires, a lot of the responses we received said they tried different ales because of recommendations or in-pub signage or in-pub advertising. Although we found that other factors such as price, in green for example, can affect the decisions of ale drinkers, they're not areas that we could affect through our campaign. These graphs illustrate and justify why we put the focus in our creative work that we did.
Further supporting the information that Michael's relayed there, we undertook a range of unstructured interviews in lieu of a formalised focus group. We undertook unstructured interviews with a variety of respondents at industry-related events, as well as in a range of domestic, social and academic situations, with our peers and the uninitiated alike. While unstructured interviews offered a greater degree of flexibility to our group in terms of practical considerations against focus groups in regards to organisational resource requirements, they did permit a level of qualitative information to be gathered through proactive and reactive questioning processes. This process was helpful in consideration of testing the information we'd gained in questionnaires, which Michael has relayed, as well as, particularly in regards to consumer purchasing and drinking habits, as well as how consumers interact with brands on social media. While gathering a depth of information, specific themes were reflected in instructional interviews, they were also observed in other research areas, such as the importance of recommendations, the concept of locality of the brewing to the consumers, influencing their purchasing and drinking habits, as well as the opportunity to attract consumers through social media promotional activity. It is the information concerning locality, the role of recommendations, and social media activity that are most prominent in our creative recommendations.
So let's get to the fun part now. After looking into the brief bit more than research, we decided the first thing what we should focus with Tattton Brewery is digital media. Because let's be honest, internet has been a fundamental change in our lifestyles, including business. So this is why the very first step that we want to do with Tattton Brewery is take it back to basics, which is the website. So this is the current website that Tattton has, and quite frankly, we did like a deep inspection on it, and we saw it has few flaws in the code and as well in design. First of all, the landing page has no focus on the product. Second, there's an inconsistency between the plugins and the unstyled extensions that you use from Google, Twitter and Facebook. Thirdly, it has a very weak SEO in the code and it uses outdated analytical tools. And I even managed to find some errors in the code which has impacted the user experience. So this is our proposal, a complete redesigned, restructured website. We tried to use the same content that already Tattton Brewery has, and we restructured and made it in a more cleaner design, without losing the essential visuals from the previous site. So we decided to go for a WordPress platform because it will improve the SEO as well as the site management. It will be easier to update. Here's as well an example on of the product page here, so you can skip through. And there's also a mobile version, of course. You can go and interact easily with that one. And the next thing is, obviously, as I said, it follows this design follows the latest trends in technology, which is our different screen resolutions, including retina displays and devices, and most importantly, now we also added features, obviously new features to the site, and most importantly, it's consistent through all the devices, so you have the same experience when you browse Tattton Brewery's website. The next thing what we decided to go is social media, and our research suggests that there's no point going into new networks with Tattton Brewery because the people that we asked in Osprey Market were the main two networks that they use were Twitter and Facebook. And to be honest, there's no point in going in new social media networks if you have nothing to tell to the users, because you're just basically spending time and effort to try to engage with them. However, if you look at the current state of both profiles, we will notice that there are some missing parts. Like, for example, there's no cover image for the current site, same visuals are missing in the new Twitter profiles. Then there's no age verification for both profiles, which showcase that Tattton doesn't really care about the corporate social responsibility that needs to be added in. And as well, some of the current communication style is not used very effectively. As you can see, I can barely read that one on a 13-inch screen. So our proposal is to go a fresh update, trying to keep the same kind of visual feel as the website. And because we want to target the younger audience, and we also decided to ditch text communication and go for full visual communication, so using pictures. The reason for choosing that one is because Facebook is coming out with new updates, like the Facebook home phone, and as well, this is the news feed that's going to come in the upcoming months, and the only way you're going to be able to reach your audience as a brand will be through rich media. Additionally, visual communication will look better on a brand profile. It looks more style-like, more updated, more engaging, and so on. And as well, our secondary research shows that that visual communication improves like shares and likes throughout the content, which gives a wider brand awareness online. And as well, these visuals can be used to promote new product releases, events, and offers. But why stop there? We decided to use the full functionality of Facebook, thus introducing a social Facebook app called Tattton Roulette. Based on two famous games, Spin the Wheel and Spin the Bottle. A campaign that runs for 2-3 weeks, and the main prize is to win a free cask of Tatton's finest ale. So how does it work? First, you have to once the user enters the page, first he has to like the page, so we're generating new likes to the existing 450 likes that Tattton has. Next, the user has to enter his email, which is connected to the database of Tatton's newsletters, so you're generating a big audience when you're sending out newsletters. And at the same time, when he enters the email, he's registered to the competition, and he is able to spin the bottle. The next screen is you can spin the bottle, and once the user spins it, he can win like branded merchandise from Tattton Brewery, like branded Tattton glasses, pint glasses, t-shirts, or bottle openers. But there's a catch: you can spin only once a day. In order to have an extra spin, you have to invite 2 new friends to the app, which will generate again new likes and bigger brand awareness online. But we decided to go even further with this app. We thought it's such a good concept, we decided to create a mobile app for it as well. Unlike the Facebook app, this is more simplified version, which main purpose is to have fun. For example, can decide who's buying the next round, spin the bottle, and we took the liberties to create a demo version for it. Sorry.
Who's buying the next round, Michael? Is it going to be you?
Definitely.
Oh, it's Marius.
So, we want this app to be a long-term investment for Tattton Brewery, as it could be a great way to display Tattton products, giving options to the user to choose the spinning bottle. And each of the bottles that we have there have their own kind of unique spinning characters. Some will spin faster, some spin slower. Like the Yeti one, for example, would be like a Yeti hand animation that it spins in, and so on. And the best thing about having this is you have the brand on your mobile device. It's the most used gadget that you have every day. And the best thing about it as well is you can you use push notifications to inform users about new offers and products. And I wonder how people will find about the app. Well, as you can see, we made these little examples that we're going to put around pubs with a QR code sending the app to the market, to the Apple market, Play market, and even BlackBerry market, and Windows market, if those phones actually pick up. Because we tried focus to creating the app in a HTML5 platform, which is easy to wrap around the app framework.
Okay, and we're going to talk about offline media now. As it was previously mentioned, primary research indicated 2 main triggers for consumers purchasing new ale, ones that they haven't tried before. That would have been in-bar or on-site advertising, and bartender recommendation, or recommendation from a friend. So, like we just mentioned, you have in front of you flyer stands. On the first side of that flyer stand is a decision tree, Tattton Ale decision tree. It's a graph that uses a branching method to illustrate every possible outcome of a decision. Tatton's decision tree will engage consumers to answer questions such as, are you eating? What are you eating? Are you drinking? How much are you drinking? This will continue until the final outcome is a specifically recommended ale. This is good as it engages consumers when they're waiting at the bar to order, or if they're just sitting at the bar, or sitting at their table. And it's also good because it will recommend an ale that they're very likely to enjoy. They won't be just guessing. Right, so that's that. On the side is the Tattton Roulette ad that Richard just explained to you. And then the third side is taken from Tatton's brochure that explains the brand and the product. Another in-bar advertising method we were looking to go with is to create posters. They're designed in such a way that they'll fit in pub decor. appealing to look at while they'll advertise Tatton's variety of ales. They also serve to build brand personality, which is reflected in poster aesthetic, in copy and design. Ideally, these will be located behind the bar within easy view. The exact location of the poster will depend on availability of wall spacing behind the bar. But however, another location with higher frequent visibility would also work, such as in the gents' room. The posters, they can also be translated to other media, such as magazines, print, newspapers, local sporting clubs, trade magazines, things like that. They're distributed within the area. And finally, we were saying, because bartenders are going to be the ones that are recommending your ales, we were thinking we should give them an incentive to push Tattton ales over the bar. One way we were suggesting we could do this is by sponsoring pub quizzes. Tattton ale bottles or pints could be sponsored to the pub for the prize pool for the pub quiz, or they could be offered on discount during the night to compliments of Tattton Brewery. So you engage, you tell consumers, right, they're on discount, they become aware of Tattton Brewery, and it gives bartenders a chance to serve quite a lot. But yes.
We hope we've demonstrated an engaging online and offline proposal for you. Is it something you could be interested in? I don't know, let's spin for it. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope it's been interesting, and we look forward to your questions. Thank you.